Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Oceans Reviews here today. So today I'm going to go over my top underrated favorite films in my collection. So I'm going to talk about sort of the films that I picked out from my collection that I find really underrated, that aren't really talked about in the movie community, that I really enjoy. I find myself revisiting these ones quite often, and I wanted to share these titles with you guys. Maybe you might be keen to check them out. So yeah, I've been meaning to do this video for a while. I've kind of wanted to do it like something like this, but yeah, so I've picked out a few titles that I really enjoy, and I think, yeah, they're just underrated, and I think more people need to see them. So first movie off the bat, we're going in hard and strong, and we're going to be talking about Two Hands. So Two Hands stars Heath Ledger. So this is some of his earlier work. I really enjoy this film. It's also based in my home city of Sydney, Australia, which is awesome. I can relate to this movie in that sort of aspect as well. But I think it's just a great story. It's a lot of fun. It's enjoyable, and yeah, there's so much that goes on in this film. And there's just so much like twists and turns, and it takes all these different directions, and it's just super enjoyable all the way through. Essentially, I'll give you sort of the main sort of, I guess, plot story. Heath Ledger plays this kind of like guy, and he's a bit of like this nightclub worker, and he does this sort of odd job for this crime boss that's like big in the sort of, you know, in the area where he's working and stuff like that, and where he's living. And essentially he does this job, and it sort of goes wrong, and he ends up losing a lot of money to this guy, and he essentially just goes on the run, and it's about him just trying to figure out how he's going to pay this crime boss back. So it's based in the early, I think this movie is sort of based in around the early like late 1990s or like early 2000s of King Cross, Sydney. So King's Cross in Sydney back in the day, back then, was like a real seedy sort of like area. It had like this red light district, a lot of clubs, a lot of nightclubs, a lot of stuff going on. You know, it was like really buzzing, and it was like the area that everyone sort of went to go out, I suppose. And but nowadays it's not really like that anymore. It's sort of changed. It's like dialed down a bit. But back in the day, it used to be this buzzing like hotspot in the city. But yeah, it's sort of based in that era, so like early 2000s sort of thing. And yeah, it's really good. It's really tense, and I really enjoy it. And Heath Ledger delivers in this film. It's a great film to watch, and I revisit this one very often. So I highly recommend checking this out, Two Hands. And this is brought to you by Umbrella Entertainment. So that's like a label here. That's a label here in Australia, so you can get it through them. Now, next film I've got here is a comedy film. It's one that I revisit very often, and I really enjoy it because of a certain actor that's in it. Yeah, I just feel like not many people talk about it. And that is Unfinished Business. This is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this film. I think it's a great comedy. I find myself just laughing and enjoying this film every time I put it on. I really enjoy Dave Franco as well. I'm not really too sure if many people do enjoy Dave Franco. But I think he's funny in this. I really like his sort of personality in this film. He's like really like quirky, and he's like really unsure and timid, and it's sort of like his comedic value comes from that. But Vince Vaughn in this, he's just so good. I think he's hilarious, and it's just a great film. Essentially, I'll give you the main story. They go on this, Vince Vaughn is like, he's sort of fired from his job, and then he goes on like this trip, like he's starts his own company, and then he wants to close this deal with his company or something like that he starts, and then he employs two people to be in his company, I suppose. And it's Dave Franco and Tom Wilkinson, I suppose that would be, yeah. And yeah, it's they go on this business trip and a lot of stuff happens and it's just enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun film. I highly recommend it, especially if you love Vince Vaughn like I do. I think he's a great actor. I love him in all the stuff that he's in. But yeah, that's Unfinished Business. You could probably find this one at your local CEX. I found this one at the local CEX for quite cheap, and maybe $2 or something like that, $1 even. You know, pick it up if you can find it. I highly recommend it. Then we've got this movie that I find is severely underrated. I'm not sure, not many people talk about it, but it's got a pretty good twist in it. It's got a really sort of heartfelt story in it. You connect with the characters emotionally, and I think it's a pretty good film, and that is The Place Beyond the Pines. So essentially, the story is I won't give you the full story because I feel like it will go into kind of spoiler territory really easily, really quickly. So I don't want to expose too much about this film. But essentially, Ryan Gosling is I guess the main sort of character in this, kind of. And then essentially he goes and he has this he has a baby as a kid, and then he sort of decides that he wants to provide for this kid, and he starts doing these bank robberies, and it sort of all goes from there. I don't want to spoil it too much. I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like it's one of those films, if you watch for yourself without knowing too much about it beforehand, you get a lot more from it and you'd enjoy it more. So go into this film blind and just watch it from start to finish, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a great flick, a lot of great moments, sort of really enjoyable acting, all round ticks all the boxes for me. It's sort of I guess a crime thriller, not a thriller, maybe a crime drama type movie. So yeah, it's pretty good. I really enjoyed this film. Place Beyond the Pines. You could probably find this at CEX maybe. But yeah, highly recommend that. It's got Bradley Cooper in it as well. So an all-round, all-star cast. Then next film, we've got another Australian film. And this is one that I cannot recommend enough, and that is Animal Kingdom. I've still got the CEX stickers on it, I'm sorry. I have a habit of buying my movies from CEX and sort of forgetting to take the stickers off my Blu-rays. But this movie is a great sort of crime drama, I guess thriller type film. It's done really well. It's good. It's essentially probably one of my favorite Australian films to ever come out of the country, and it's got some great actors in it. It's got Guy Pearce in it. It's got Joel Edgerton. It's got what's her name, Jackie Weaver in it. Essentially, it's about this teenage kid. This guy, he loses his mum to a drug overdose, and he has to go stay with his extended family, and that being his uncles and his grandmother. And essentially his uncles are involved in robbing banks, and they're just, they're into crime, and that's what they do. That's how they make a living. And then he revolves himself around in this family of crime. And that is essentially what happens, and yeah, it just essentially just goes all downhill from there for this teenage kid, and just a lot of things happen, and it's just great. It's a great film. It's probably one of the best movies to come out of my country, I think, in my opinion. I really enjoy it, and the TV show is also really good as well. I highly recommend the TV show. It's the American adaptation of this movie, which I really enjoyed as well. I highly recommend checking that out, but this movie is golden. I really enjoyed it. You could probably get Animal Kingdom, I don't know, maybe imported. I'm not sure if you'd be able to get it at CEX in the UK, or I got mine here at CEX in Australia, but I don't know. Maybe you might be able to get it on eBay for a cheap price. So we got 3 movies left. This one I really enjoy. It's a really sort of heartfelt story. you connect with the main character quite a lot. You feel really emotionally invested, and it tugs at your heartstrings, this film. And I find myself going back to it all the time. And that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I really enjoy this film. It's a really heartfelt story. I know it's got Ezra Miller in it, but I loved this film and watched it even before like all the stuff went on about him. Like, I don't really know what's going on about him or anything. I just love this film. It's just a movie that I love. And he's not even the main character in this film. It's Logan Lerman. You follow him as the main sort of character in this movie. Essentially, it's about him, Logan Lerman, and his character is sort of like, he's really timid and nervous, and he's sort of going through high school, just trying to meet new people, and he stumbles across this group of friends, and it's sort of like a growing of age, type film. And it's sort of really heartfelt. There's some like sort of, I guess, like a twist, or like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a twist. I guess, it's a twist, and it's sort of just like makes your heart just drop and you just feel like crying. Like, it's one of those movies, if you want to cry, watch this movie. And I really enjoy it. I think it's a movie that gets you emotionally it makes you feel emotionally like vulnerable, this movie, I think, and it does it quite well. And the story's it's really good, and it's acted really well, and I think it's a movie that deserves to be watched. I think I highly recommend it. So definitely check out The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I revisit this one quite often because I really enjoy it. You might be able to get that one at CEX, I presume. So next movie we're talking about here is Days of Thunder. I know this movie wouldn't be like severely like underrated, but I find it's probably Tom Cruise's one of his most underrated films in his filmography, I find. But I really enjoy it. But it is essentially, I would say it's more of it is like a copy and paste from Top Gun to this film. But I really enjoy it. I think it has some high octane, speed, highly intense scenes in this film. I really enjoy like car racing and that sort of stuff. So I think if you enjoy car racing, or you enjoy that sort of those high adrenaline scenes like that Top Gun has, you'd really enjoy this film. And I could find myself revisiting this one very often. The main reason I picked this one is just because I feel like it doesn't really get talked about that often, and I feel like a lot of other movies in his filmography get talked about more. But if you're living off that Top Gun high like I was, check out this film if you haven't already, and I think you'd have a great time with this movie. That's Days of Thunder. We got some great little images there as well on the back. So next film we're talking about, this is the last film of this sort of stack that I picked out from my collection, and that is Beneath Hill 60. This is an Australian World War I film, and it's based on, I guess, like, I'm not sure what company it is, but it's like the they're like tunnelers, and the film is based around them, these tunnelers that tunnel under like enemy German lines, and it's just a different take on the war sort of scenario type, like the movies, it's a different take. It's extremely claustrophobic. It's really like, it gets you going, it gets really intense, and it's really suspenseful, and it's really good. It's done really well. It's a great war film, and I think it's one that everyone should check out. If you love your war films, I'd highly recommend this movie. It's probably one of the best war films I've seen. But it's just, as I said, if you like sort of love movies that are like sort of make you feel a certain way, like essentially like make you feel like really claustrophobic, or you like those sort of movies that, I don't know, like, it's hard to explain. I guess that make you feel like sort of like at the edge of your seat, like it's really intense, and like, I'd highly recommend this film. It's a lot different than what you'd expect. I think, from a war film. So if you'd like to see a different take on the sort of like the war, kind of World War, I guess, movie genre, I'd highly recommend this because it's based on something different. The same thing, but just sort of a different kind of scenario. But yeah, a bunch of Australian actors in this one as well. So I think maybe some English ones. But yeah, highly recommend this one. Great war film. And yeah, that's Beneath Hill 60. So there you go, guys. That's my little stack of like, I guess like sort of like my favorite underrated movies to revisit every so often. And it's just some movies that I wanted to spread some awareness about and talk about with you guys. Hopefully maybe I might have piqued your interest and you check these movies out for yourself. I'd definitely like to know if you guys have seen this film, like any of these movies, or like, you know, if you'd be interested in checking some of them out. Yeah, let me know down below if you've seen any of these. What do you think of them? And yeah, there you go, guys. That's just a little video I did, a little video idea. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Not sure what's coming up next. Maybe a Nicolas Cage review. So, all right. See you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Love you all.